Hey guys, welcome back. It's your boy Midnight coming to you live with another review of Mayans M.C. Season 5, Episode 3. This was an interesting one. I cannot wait to dive into it with you all. This will be easier since it's only the one episode that I will be reviewing this time. So we'll, go ahead and go through it and see what we can put together, see how this turned out, and talk about the excitement for next week. I am very excited for it. I got a couple of skits that I've been working on. It's just been a busy week. But without further ado, let's get into it. Hey guys, it's your boy back again. So I just want to start off by saying that Easy Reyes is crazy AF. Legitimately. Okay. I got it's just this man does not care at all. He is just trying to, he believes that he is right in his mind, trying to help MC survive this war, seize control, but everybody else that's tied together, forgive my camera for lagging a bit. Wi-Fi is acting a little weird right now, it seems. But from what it looks like, he cares not about all these other families and all these, these extended friends and relationships that everybody else in the MC has. It doesn't matter. We just want to make deals with mercenaries that we worked with before. And, one who just happened to hold a gun to my brother's son's head, my nephew's head. I care not. Just let's make some more fentanyl and go on ahead and just let ourselves get killed. Isn't that great? Oh man, no. This episode was directed by Danny Pino, and I must say he directed a couple episodes last season. And you know what? Danny's got a good director's eye. I can't deny it. There was one scene in this episode that I thought was rather awkward. But I guess it was supposed to play off that way. It was with Emily and Easy meeting up, and I know that I kind of wish that over the seasons we got to see a little more interactions between the both of them. I know it was kind of peppered throughout, but I would just have liked to have seen just a bit more so it didn't feel as strange at times like this one. And I guess because she had been gone for so long and Easy hadn't heard from her, he's wondering if she's okay, and she's talking about her escape plan. It's just like, okay, no problem. And he said to her, I know I'm starting off with this scene here. I had to get this out of the way. He said to her that he believes that time is relative, or that he doesn't believe time is linear. And I like the shot that they put up for it, where it was just him, and then the swing that was just empty. Because now you kind of feel like even though Emily, even though Emily is there, in that shot alone, it's almost like it's framed for Easy to really feel like he's alone or in this thinking by himself. And then after that, it shifts to Emily, where you see the empty swing in her, and she says that she doesn't believe that, where it's almost like she's in that by herself, and there's this gap, there's this divide with that empty swing that is keeping them from having a very similar belief. It's just, and then Easy plays it off like, yeah, I don't believe it, just because she says she doesn't believe it. But he was hoping for, something, because he genuinely loved her. And, things took a bad turn. He didn't want, he wasn't expecting his mom to get killed, by Happy, and he went after her and shot the cop, and just a whole lot that went down. But I think that, that scene was just awkward to me. But I think that was pretty much why. Everything else I enjoyed. So let's start from the beginning. So in the beginning, we open up with a raid on one of the, I guess it was another warehouse, another cookhouse, and it's very dark. That was the one that honestly bothered me a little bit, how dark it was, because I can't see a thing. Even I wasn't watching this on my TV like I should have. I was watching this on my phone because whatever. It's happening at my phone at the moment. And I turned the brightness all the way up and still couldn't see a thing. It reminded me of like that first fight scene in the Black Panther movie. Like the first Black Panther. It's like you can't see a thing. I'm like, what is happening here? But clearly, then as it unfolds, it becomes evident that they're going after one of the cookhouses because Easy said in the end of episode 2 that he wanted to take over the cartel or take out the cartel, essentially. And so they find, they're going through the house. They find this cook. Angel plays it off, because he, again, I firmly believe that man burned down the warehouse. And you would see why he's acting the way he's acting. He burned down the warehouse. He's trying to keep them out of becoming these pipeline controllers. Didn't want them to go into this. So it's like, the cook's not there. Didn't see him. Somebody else happened to have found him in that moment. And they bring him out. So he feels pretty bad about it. They close the doors. Boom. We start off. And then we go into Emily with her son, Cristobal. She's got a bodyguard with him and the sitter. And they go to the grocery store. And so we see her, at some point she sees the exit sign and she wants to escape. We clearly see it's like she's counting down how much time she can take to escape and go out the back way just to leave. Right. That doesn't work out because the bodyguard came back with the toilet paper, but it was the wrong kind. The sitter decided to go get it and told the bodyguard to stay with her. Now, I'm just wondering in that moment, it's not hinted at, but I just wonder if they caught her like knowing what she was doing, or was it just like, I just wonder because it was never explained in a way where, she just says you stay with her, but it's never set in a tone where it's like, nah, she caught you. Like she knows you were trying to escape all the time. But they obviously close tabs on her because Galindo made that order. From there, we talk. There's when they bring the cook in the garage, right? And talking about how they want him to cook for them and saying, if you want to see your family, you gotta make this for us. And I gotta say, this character Guero. He's rubbed me all kinds of wrong ways because he's just so hot-headed and it's almost like for no reason at all. So I have my concerns there. Like I think Justin, you commented, I believe you said that you feel like he's going to no, this might have been, I think you did say this. That he'll get killed, or he's working with the Sons or something. He might be a plant for the Sons or something. I don't think so. It was interesting that you brought it, but I don't think so. Simply because, his father Ibarra, getting killed. Maybe. I mean, that could still be a thing. Maybe I don't know, but I don't think it's not doing. I don't know. I don't think so. I genuinely don't think so that he is a plant for the Sons. I think that would just kind of add another overly complicated layer to the story. Nah. He patched over from the Tucson chapter. So there's that. Nah. But I will say that I like this new character, Bottles, this new prospect. He's pretty cool. Clumsy's I don't know what, but he seems like a fun character that we could get to know throughout the season. So eventually, the cook, he agrees to work for them. The guy that plays Downer, Angel Oquendo, he makes me laugh so much just because it's almost like he's aggressive in a way where it's obviously on purpose, but it just in certain scenes, it's just humorous to me. Like later on when Bottles comes in and turns off the radio, he's like, prospect. It's just the way he says prospect. Oh man, Donna, he kills me, man. He definitely does not keep me down. That frown is never upside down. I'll tell you that much. So we see Creeper. He's gotten out of the hospital. Into the yards. He's in there by himself. There's like no one else. He has no protection. That's really how that once when we first see him pop back up, how that is showcased. Like he stands on the fence alone, has no one. He just stands to himself because he doesn't want to get involved in anything, doesn't want to be involved in anybody's beef. Just I'm here by myself. I gotta handle myself, but I'm gonna keep to myself. Just I gotta survive for these guys. So, um, Alvarez is at his house. We see Alvarez again too. He's chilling, smoking, having a beer, I believe, and his daughter comes in, is trying to give him an update on school, and you can see he's kind of checked out. And she says, "You're missing everything," and he's like, "Oh, what do you mean?" But missing his kids growing up, like missing the moments that are important to them. He's not really involved as much in that. Ever since he's left the club, he's just kind of been out of it. And it's almost like the club was his purpose. And now he's trying to, or he doesn't really know how to find his other purpose. Like, we know he's a family man. We know he's taking care of his family. But since they kicked him out, it's just been different. I genuinely think he's depressed. Like he told Easy in the last episode, Easy was the only one that came to see him. Now that changes in this episode because Diaz, who's the president of Oakland chapter, comes to see him, and they laugh it up, they chop it up, what have you, right? And that's about it. But I feel like Alvarez might make a move to come back, just because it seems like he definitely does miss it a lot. When he asked Diaz about the war and what was going on. He says, "You have another purpose. You have to stay here and be with your family." And I love how this is becoming, it seems to me that this is becoming an overarching theme for this season. Like fathers and duty to their families, or duty to your family in general, because all these things, he said, leave them dying to us. We got guys that's dying left and right, but this is our war. You're out of it. Stay here, protect your family. Angel has a conversation with Bishop later on in the episode, and he's asking him, how do you keep these worlds from bleeding into each other? Bishop gives him a Bishop kind of answer. It's not really direct, but you get the point of what he's saying. And he's like, well, I wouldn't be around with you guys. I mean, it is direct, but it's also not like the straightest of answers. It's not like you kind of expect like some, I guess in my mind, when he asked him, I thought he was going to really try to give him some some advice, but that's what separates him from Alvarez, because like Alvarez kind of give you that advice, like letting you know like what's going on, like that wisdom. And Bishop, his comes more from a place of pain because he doesn't have his son, and not everybody knows that Angel has this kid, and he's like he said, he tried to keep that separate. He didn't want both worlds bleeding into each other. And Bishop tells me, he's like, straight up, I wouldn't be here. I'd be a janitor somewhere if I had to. I wouldn't be involved in this. I wouldn't need you guys. I wouldn't be with you guys. I'm only here because I have nothing. I'm here because I have effing nothing. And that's it. Does that answer your effing question? Like that, that was probably, to me, my favorite scene in this entire episode. I kid you not. Like I really love Michael Irby. Man, he's such a talented actor, man. I love that. And then after that, he goes to drive to see Maggie, and that's when it's like this. He finds someone who gets him, and he wants her. He wants to like just be with her. He wants to stay. The way things looked last season, early on between them and Maggie, they start off rough. But then eventually, they went on a date and things look good. And then, finally seeing them updating and them being around each other more. I like it. It's good for him because he needs someone like that. Someone who could, like, a reason for him to live. Because for a long time, it seemed like he was just a dead man walking. But now he has a reason to live. He has a reason to want, to just survive, like go on, someone who cares about him, and he wants to be with her. And even though she wants to take things slow, which is understandable, he's like, I just want you. Just let me stay tonight. I don't want to go anywhere. I just rather would be with you. And I love that. I love that for his character. I love that he's found someone. Maggie seems to, she's a good fit for him. I mean, just to keep him, she keeps him anchored, keeps him grounded. And that's really what Bishop needed, because Bishop went up deep in for a while. I mean, he was drinking, he was drugging, snorting, like he was doing it all, man. And now Maggie is really just, slowly but surely really changing him. Um, we see Felipe again too. Speaking of family, he sees Galindo, drives up to see Galindo, and brings him some letters that he found in these pictures that he has from when Galindo was a child. And he was explaining to Galindo that his mom used to send him letters to like update him on what's going on with his life and how he is. And Galindo threatens him. If you ever drive up these hills again, if you ever drive up here again, I'll bury you in these hills. It's a well-delivered line, beautiful line. And he's just so but at first you see him playing with a crystal ball, helping him fix his bike, showing him how to tighten the bolts on the wheels and all, and it's cool. But then you see how it shifts from like this father and son to having a good relationship to this father and son who are on total opposite ends and at odds. But Felipe is trying. He's trying to build something. He said, I want you to know us. You need to know your family. Your mom's not here. It's really just you and your son. Emily's not really. You're not really doing much of Emily. Like, don't get to know your brothers. Get to know me. I mean, dad. Like, he wants to start off on the right foot. Galindo's not really. But eventually he does start to read those letters later on in the episode, right? So there's that aspect. I mean, there's a scene with Angel and his son after he's talked to Bishop and he says, I'll never let anything happen to you. Which is just, I love it, man. Yeah. Angel, he's got a lot to live for. And he wants to make sure that Easy realizes that there is a lot that we have to live for. We have families, there's extended family, there's friends, all these relationships that we have, and you're putting us all at risk of losing whomever. We don't know who's next and who might go down next. Let's jump over to Letty and Hope for a second too, right? There's a lot of characters in this episode, so we'll be all over the place a little bit. So Letty and Hope have two interesting scenes here where actually it's three interesting scenes, forgive me. One where they're just talking about like what kind of testers they would be, right? Or Hope wanting to be a human guinea pig essentially, which I thought was pretty funny. I like that whole dynamic because she said book testers, and wouldn't that just be reading? Absolutely. I would just be reading. So that I like that. And they're still going around robbing these people that Louis knows. And Hope, when they go to this next house, Hope is starting to see some objects and items that look very familiar. And you notice it with like certain things on the wall, the guitar. Sorry, guys. On the wall, the guitar. There's also this shield with all these spoons on it that she notices. She's just picking up on things. She tries to leave. The guy says no. Then Letty busts in, and then she stabs the dude. The guy's got a gun to her head. And then she stabs the guy in the chest. The one other dude, I think his name was Chewy. He's sitting down with the worst aim ever. Just, hits nothing. Goes outside, hits nothing again. It's so bad. Like, how are you aiming this terribly? And lo and behold, who was it that Hope saw? It was Butterfly, one of the guys from Meth Mountain. I think it was the dealer that Coco was having issues with at one point in time. So from then on, right, there's a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. And I hadn't seen him since season 3. I was like, well, I forgot all about him. And so later on, she's trying to explain to Letty, like, look, I don't think we should do this anymore. I think we need to go. Letty's like, no, I'm going to stay. Like, you can leave, but I'm going to stay because this is all I have left of Coco. And, Hope eventually concedes and stays with her. And because they have each other's backs, but it's just like, I think he's going to at some point find her, because remember when we got that first trailer for the first official trailer for Mayans, we see Isaac kind of, what we believe to be Isaac, holding his hand over her mouth. And obviously Butterfly is going to tell Isaac, like, hey, this is where I just saw Hope, and I'm just gonna dig into it and try to find her.
Right. Speaking of Isaac, the man is invoking fear throughout his own ranks.
So much so that Terry actually ends up choking out Jess. He's asking her after she goes to see her sister Jasmine. He's like, do we have any more information? She's like, I'm done with this. I don't want to do this anymore. And we see it because she's also starting to get feelings for Nestor, but she's also like, this is causing way too much bloodshed, and I don't want to risk anything. You guys could do that, but I don't want to risk anything. So, what happens now? Well, what takes place? He chokes her out, like I said. Jasmine hits him over the head with a bottle, like, that's still my sister. And he's explaining, like, he's got that Isaac has these eyes. He has his eyes set on him, and he's really afraid for his life right now, that if he doesn't complete his whatever task he's supposed to complete, that Isaac will kill him. And apparently Hoosier and Joker, two other members of Sam Dino, they are already on board just like everybody else. They've fallen in line with this new alpha that is Isaac. And whether it's out of just straight up loyalty or fear, they have committed to standing alongside him. So there is that. The other thing, what else do I want to talk about? Oh, yes. So Isaac, just know that Isaac's going to be a problem next episode. That's what I truly believe. It's going to be a problem. The other thing I wanted to talk about, Lincoln Potter coming back, drinking his milk and weirdly doing things as Lincoln always does. How he oddly threatens this lady, the OIG woman. Yeah, she's got all these titles. It's just, geez. And trying to understand all these transactions that are being made, and he's just playing coy essentially, but also making his presence known, like, this is who I am, this is what I do, subtly in the most Lincoln Potter fashion possible. So I thought that was an interesting concept and update, just to see him. What I really liked was that reveal of that him being in the room. Because at first I wasn't even sure, when, like, the previous episode, they're looking through all these accounts and numbers, and I'm like, well, who is this that they're talking about? Like, this has to go all the way upstairs. And so, yeah, the reveal was really well done, because you were standing over the OIG's shoulder, and then the camera just pans and you see Link sitting there with his carton of milk. It's great. The guy even says before she walks in the room, all he asked for was a straw. That was it. That is such a Lincoln Potter thing. So love Ray McKinnon. He's so great in that role. Another thing I wanted to touch on was probably the funniest but also worst written line in Mayans history to me. And it's the scene where Katie is sitting down with her commanding officer, and she's just saying, you effed me, and you effed me hard. But the line really was, I should spit in your effing mouth. You spit in my mouth. You opened up my mouth and you spit in it. And I'm like, oh my God. It's so, like, why? To me, it was just over the top, unnecessary, but honestly hilarious. Like, why is she going so far into this, just hacking a loogie down the throat? Like, why? And so she steals her ID when she's not looking, and goes in and grabs these files, I guess, from this old case that she had, and started to just take some things, like pull some things from out of it. Really. Another thing. What else, man? There's something. Oh, yes. This is crucial. So I remember how I was, talking sarcastically about Easy earlier, talking with Cole, right? So Bottles brings the cook in later on, and they talk about, and he shows them that they made this 1 kilo of fentanyl, $100,000. So they take it over to Cole. Easy's like, we're in business. Take it over to Cole. Downer's all like, because Bottles turns off the music. Prospect. So they go see Cole. Angel and Easy go see Cole. For some reason, Angel Easy believes that he just needs Angel right there with him. Well, because he doesn't really trust anybody. I don't think he trusts anybody else as much. Obviously, I mean, Angel's his brother. He's like, I trust you more than anybody else, so I need you close with me on this. And Angel, as reluctant as he is, he decides, it's my brother. All right, fine. And they tell Cole about it. Cole's threatening him, like, look, I could take you off of this. Okay, so it's like, you either bring me 10 times this, or I will come back and I will murder everybody that this MC is close to. Santo Padre is a short drive from where we are, because it's with the LNG. So he's like, we can, over here, the trafficking of it, the muling will be so much easier, because on this side of the border, we can maximize profits. You can minimize the risk. All right, you'll have more control over on this side as opposed to the other side. So deal with us as opposed to with them. He's like, all right, bring me 10 times what you brought me in 3 days. Easy. Angel's like, how are we going to do that? You're crazy. You see my headline right there? You see it? It's right down there. Easy Reyes is crazy. Do you understand what he says? He says, I will take out everybody. He says, but we'll control the prisons. What? We will take out everyone you know and love, but we'll have control of the prisons. That's your response. That is your response. He's like, we'll see. He says, we'll see. And it's like, there's no way we can do this, man. Like, this is crazy. Do you not know when they put a child to my gun's head, put a gun to my child's head and threaten my family? He's like, look, screw him. Don't even worry about it. We can do it. I don't know how, but we're going to do it. That's a lot. I should have a lot of hope in you, Easy, shouldn't I? Like that right there. That should give me much, much hope. I don't think so. And then, we conclude with the ending being that Creeper calls Hank and tells him there's a rat in the club. And Hank turns around. He's on the phone. You can see the shifting in his face of just like anger. And also there's a slight bit of fear, it seems. More so anger, because who is ratting out this club, right? Hank loves this club. That's why his name is Frankie Loyal. He's loyal to the club. That's a bar. And so, he turns around and you get this wide shot of him standing on the emblem, and the clubhouse is just right there in front of him. And you're just looking into all these windows and you're wondering, like, who could it be? Who is it? So, but that's also the other thing that I don't have an issue with that per se. My issue is why it's just the fact that this is the final season. I feel like they should deal with. I feel like this should be dealt with. I mean, this could have been maybe like a final season bout, maybe figuring out who this rat was, and maybe another storyline. I don't know, because we still got all these other biker groups involved, all these other MCs involved. Now, again, I'm going to harp on this a lot. I wish they showed some of those MCs early on so we could already kind of have this world even more established, that there was that expansion. And I think that when you have those extra, groups involved, you can't just bring them in at your conclusion. You have to have them earlier in your story. That way, we don't know. Like, there's so many opportunities and possibilities that could have happened when you brought in those other MCs. Like, you brought in Swole Boys, but you never came back to it. So now we got the Broken Saints and we got Iron War. Cool. But I enjoyed this episode thoroughly. I think it was great. I think Danny Pino did a phenomenal job directing it. And I can't wait for next week. Let me know what your theories are. Let me know what you think about this review. Let me know what you think was going to happen next week. What possibilities, where this is all going to go. Is Emily going to escape? Is Easy going to continue to lose his mind? Will Angel finally, again, stand up to his brother? Will Bottles assume another position after Guerrero, gets in his face again? I mean, is he going to just keep getting in his face? Is Nestor and Jasmine going to? I mean, not Jasmine. Jess, are they going to become a thing? What's going to happen here? How is Hank going to handle the whole rat situation? You guys let me know what you think. Isaac's definitely going to come back an angry guy. But, hey, guys, it was great having you here. Love you all. Stay safe. One pack, one nation, one smooth how. I'll check you all out. See you later. Y'all gonna check me out at these here socials. I'll see you all in the next one. And by the way, make sure that you stay tuned for all types of content that I got going on at this here channel. Remember, one pack, one nation, one smooth hell.